So let's talk about the 5 steps that you could take to achieve your financial goals. So number 1 is knowing your financial starting points, i.e. a budget. So with a budget, it gives you your reasonable starting point. It lets you know where you're at, so you know how far and where you're going. So having a budget just lets you know what your starting points are. It lets you know exactly what's going on, so you know where you're going and how to get there. If you have no clue where you're starting, how you're gonna know where to go? Creating a personal budget is really easy. You're just going to be taking in all the aspects of what you earn and all the aspects of what you spend, so that you know how much you're having. Hopefully it's in the positive, but how much you have at the end of every single month. And that's how you start the tracking. So you do this month to month, so that you understand what is going on, what your spending habits are. So number 2 is to pay down your debt. So managing debt is super hard, especially when you have credit cards, mortgages, house payments, student loans, all those different things that you could be paying on to lower your debt. What I highly suggest you focus on is understanding what your percentage is right now and lowering that percentage. So one way to make paying down debt achievable is understanding what the percentage of that debt is. So if you take in, let's say, your credit cards, and your credit cards are at a certain, like 70%, lowering that percentage to 60 lets you know that you are paying down a certain amount. But you can also do this by saying, okay, this is how much I have outstanding. So let's just say you have $10,000 outstanding and you want to lower it to $8,000. You know you're going to have to put down that $2,000 to get there. So lowering it by percentages can actually help you change being accountable to yourself, so that you know you're paying a certain amount and you actually can see that by lowering the percentages. And you could do that with your mortgage, you could do it with your credit cards, you could do that with your student loans, all of the above. I definitely want you to know that all debt is not considered equal, because you can have a credit card that has a high APR rate, but you know your student loans might be at 5% compared to your credit card at 20% or even higher. So what I highly suggest you do is pay down the high interest cards or high interest accounts first, and then going after the smaller accounts. So you're lowering the amount that you're paying in interest, and you are being able to pay that down, which is going to put more money back in your pockets as you lower that principal amount. Number 3 is set a savings goal. Okay? Some people just want to just say, I'm gonna put a lump sum in, and then they wait for that lump sum and wait for that lump sum, and they end up never really saving because they never accumulate that lump sum. But what I highly suggest is start small. What I did and how I got to $5,000 and didn't even know it was I started small by setting up automatic transfers from my checking to my savings. So it was only $30 every paycheck, but by the time I needed it, it was just sitting there ready to go. So one thing that I did, and I highly suggest you do, is to find a high yield savings account. So what this does is they pay you for having money in the bank, but they pay you at a higher percentage rate. So instead of 0.00, I don't even know what they pay at the regular banks, like the brick and mortars, the Chase, the Wells Fargos, they pay a lower percentage rate. When you find a high yield savings account, they're paying about 6%. So whatever you have in that account, you could be earning more money for it just sitting in there. And as you add to it, the more that you can earn. It's like compounding on your interest. So definitely find a high yield savings account, put your money in there. And another thing you can do is have it automatically transferred. So you can go to your bank account and then have the dates, set up the dates. So if you get paid every 2 weeks, you automatically schedule for however much you want to come out of your checking account, go into this savings account that you had set up. Automatically done. You won't even know it's done. It'll do it for you. You don't have to go and push any buttons after that. So it's automatically doing this for you. You don't have to worry about, you know, how much am I going to put in this month. No, just set it up one time, leave it alone, let it work. a good way to set up a savings that you know is going to be sitting there ready if you ever need it. So number 4 is tracking your spending. So this kind of flows within that setting up a budget, but tracking your spending is understanding how you are spending. Like, a lot of people like to eat out, and once you start slashing, you know, your credit cards, it's like you don't even think about it. So tracking your spendings, there's mobile apps, there's actually ways to do it within your bank. Like, some banks will give you a spending report so that you can see what you're actually spending your money on. So tracking your money is huge, because then you'll know, okay, this is what I like to do. Like, I like to eat out. I like to buy stuff on Amazon, and my spending report shows me all that, and I'm just like, okay, I got to make a change. So spending reports are huge, something definitely to look into, and it will help you change the tendencies that you have that you probably don't even know you have, and it makes a huge difference in making your savings and financial goals achievable. Number 5 is investing in yourself. I know I want to be 32 forever, but I am going to get older as a 32-year-old. We all are going to retire. And what we need to do now at this younger age is start investing in our retirement and our future. And this can be as simple as setting up a life insurance or a retirement fund, or something that is going to help you within retirement. I personally do not like 401ks because I've seen clients' 401ks get drained off of the economy. So I would kind of stay away from 401ks, but there's a lot of different options that you can use, ways to compound interest, have policies pay you out within a certain age range. You know, there's other types of retirement funds besides the 401k. I know a lot of people do that because the businesses get benefits off of that, but there's other ones that benefit you strictly, just you. Okay, so definitely take a look into investing in yourself, planning for your retirement now, because the rates are going to be a lot cheaper as you're younger than waiting until you're super, like 20 years later, and the rates will be a lot higher. Okay, and I also have a free guide, 10 money moves you need to make as an adult, on my website, LegacyNYM.com. Go check that out. It has a lot of this stuff in there already, so you can understand it in more detail than this video. But go check it out. Go to the website, LegacyNYM.com. So once you get through this, make sure you are sticking to it. Stick to it. It's going to make a big financial change in your life, and it's going to help you build your financial goals and hit those financial goals. Okay? You got this. My name is Sabrina Green. I'm with Legacy Financial Services. I hope this helps you. Make sure that you like, share, and comment. Let your friends know about it so that they can set up their financial achievable goals and get through things that they need to get through. And make sure you're changing the conversation, because little things like this, sharing this, is going to change the conversation so that we all can do better. All right? Help somebody out. Share this video. I will talk to you guys later. Toodles.